All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the lower bracket, round 9. We are one round away. Round 9 is only a lower bracket round. But there's a game here I wanted to cover. We just, in the last video, commentated SoufWest getting knocked down to the lower bracket. They are now against H8 double underscore. Now, H8, who we're just going to call Hate, because that's, I assume, how they want it read. They were knocked down into the lower bracket in round 6, 3 rounds ago, by SoufWest in a 2-0. They have since just 2-0'd their way through basically all of their opponents to stay in the tournament. This is their chance to get revenge on SoufWest. And therefore, that is what we call a story. Let's jump into this. Starting off on Royal Palace. It is domination. We're seeing Hawkeye and Luna Snow banned out Psylocke and Hela getting secured. Doctor Strange taken out. Very fun. That front line can be very hard to deal with. Portals, hard to get around. So far, all of the Guardians team up is available. Loki removed here. They don't want people stealing those big ultimate plays. Interesting. A very aggressive setup start for Hate here with the Adam Warlock. And a Venom here. There we go. Full Guardians team up. Storm being hovered by SoufWest. Again, this may be for rollout speed. Magneto for Hatred. We have Hatred playing for Hate. This will be great. We'll get the Adam Warlock for the team up on the side of SoufWest. We'll find out when we get to them. For now, though, let's introduce our players. We have Hate on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, and we have Yun playing the Adam Warlock. Alexio will be on the Symbiote Venom. Merge is playing the Star-Lord. Dominate will be on that Hela. Pera will be on the Mantis, and Hatred is on Magneto. Someone's been watching Twitch. On the right-hand side, in the red trunks, it is SoufWest. They have also Magneto being played by Damien. We have Silva on the Adam Warlock. Luca Hezarico back on that Hela. Zaud on the Star-Lord this time. Juju the Ball on Mantis. And Dulup. They'll be sticking with one of their big favorites here. It is going to be the Wolverine. And they do have a double tank lineup to deal with this time. We're seeing SoufWest copying the lineup kind of that we saw in the last series, where both teams went for single tank, triple damage plays. Whereas Hate, they are sticking with double tank. One sticks in the backline. In this case, it is Hatred on that Magneto. And Alexio causes problems. Already spots an Adam Warlock off to the side. Doesn't land the dive, though. Actually getting denied a little bit by the bounce pad. Finally in that backline, doing a little bit of damage. Forced to back away immediately. Swing it in. Doing damage. Tanking through. Focus down. Has to shield to back out. A lot of damage there. Venom can be very hard to deal with. If the team is working together, it can be rough. You've got to keep an eye out for Tulup there. If Tulup gets their hands on Venom, that's going to be difficult. Right like that, forcing Alexio to back out there. Venom swing. Getting out of danger. They have that symbiotic resilience, as we've just been seeing. And they're trying to just jump in with Frenzied Arrival over and over again. Try and pressure that backline. Try to get onto the Wolverine here. The counter dive, but Tulup dashing away, getting healed up. Currently, SoufWest do hold the positioning here, and Hate can't seem to step up onto that point yet. Alexio make their way in. Not the best rotation. They're still trying to make something happen. Pera with the heal. There comes that Frenzied Arrival. Trying to do damage. Forced to back out. Here comes the Galactic Legend from Zaud to try and shut down this push. With the targeting. Absolutely onto Dominate. Hatred already down from Tulup as well. And they have forced them back off the point. Looking for Pera with the spin for the finish. And Zaud gets the elimination. Now for the 1v1. Has the map peel for a little bit of that sustain. Wants Merge so badly. Chasing deep to try and get that pickup. will go down though. Zound finally finished off. Huge healing up their team as they try to make their way in for one last push. Alexio may be the one to have to step onto that point. Merge with a Galactic Legend of their own, but it's being tagged through here very hard. Meteor M is dodged and sidestepped, but that's all of their ultimate being burnt out here. Hatred is down, which leaves Alexio to make their way onto the point with 67%, 97%, 98%, holding the line on overtime. They have the shield, but that is Two-Loop diving forward and wiping them off the point. The Goddess of Death to secure just in case there was anyone else who could make their way back on as round one of game one goes over to SoufWest. Solid performance. Good start by the side of SoufWest, showing why they were able to 2-0 Hate in the earlier rounds. Hate though, they still have a chance. It is not over yet. Best out of 3, remember. On map 1, best out of 3 in terms of map and series, this is doable. But SoufWest starting off very strong. We get to see them like directly here, seeing what they learned from fighting Team Cats earlier in the tournament.
Well, you're missing a huge opportunity, dude.
The rocket being picked up, shielding the team right away. We still have a Star-Lord and a Mantis though, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see them swap to the Adam Warlock right away. There it is. Armoring up the team, setting themselves up. Interesting. Hate have brought themselves in the Thor. Got themselves that setup, and they not only that, they have themselves a Namor. Not with the Lunar Snow for the extra turret, that big damage output boost you can get from it. Penny Parker, static defense by Two-Loop, which is probably the least aggressive character we've seen them play so far. Rotating to the rest of their team, diving onto the backline, dashing through, slept by the Mantis, and they're dropping a lot of damage, forcing Mantis though into that cocoon as Alexio is tanking through very effectively here, doing a great job holding the line. They are blasting through the members of SoufWest here. This is a great start by them. SoufWest pressuring forward, but being forced back off the point. Penny though, still hanging around. You can see that Spider-Man spawner is still here while the backline has been isolated. The barrage comes out from the Star-Lord. Back onto Damien. Alexio is desperately trying to hold this, but finally getting locked down by Two-Loop. Immediate revive comes out. Yun keeping the team in this fight with the revives. Yun holding it through as Alexio is on the point, and finally we're seeing Hate getting control. Will Two-Loop stay on this Penny if they don't have the position? It's a little harder to assault a point with Penny when you don't have ult, but they do have that spider time. Nice lockdown. No damage follow-up yet as people were returning from base. Spider-Mine spawner behind a wall that has already been destroyed though, so immediately back it out because that can just be spotted and destroyed there. There comes the hand of Khonshu. Taking out one, dominate. Already down here, dropping low. Two-Loop is tagging through though. Pera trying to keep the members of Hate alive, but they are dropping one by one. The eliminations across the board. Merge tanking through desperately, but now Two-Loop has the better positioning. They've got the angle, and they've driven back the members of Hate. Silva healing up the team that's playing aggressively. Luca poking away onto that Arc, which they've got in a great position to poke anyone who comes past. Going to be taken out though. Another Arc doing a lot of damage there. Rico backing up. Good protection there. Here comes the Goddess of Death from Dominate. But a hand of Khonshu really making it a little bit harder for them to see their targets there. But they're still doing good damage output, picking up 1 and 2 on the eliminations. But they will get sniped out. They were on low health when they went in, so it kept them alive. Horde comes out onto the revive point, finds one, but gets taken out themselves. And Hate driven back once again. Silva holding the team together. Shots down range, threads the needle, does not find any hits. A little bit better. damage output from Adam Warlock with that charged right click can be really strong. But it's a projectile, it moves slowly, little bit harder to land. Tulip with the spider time is deep in the enemy backline, trying to cause problems, but retreating before it expires. Get their spider mines down, making sure that they're back near the team so they can sustain up, get that bonus health that you get from staggering the spider webs, and get down as many spider mines as possible. Shut down the attack. Alexio into the backline is going to try and set this up with the God of Thunder crashing down onto the backline. They get the double on Juji Ball and Zound, but they are taken out. Dominate is down as well. This is a good push. Alexio is holding this beautifully with another. Alexio, where did this come from? Showing a terrifying Thor here. Finding the angles, getting the backline pickups, tanking through these initial fights, and then pushing in. Dulup swapping off the penny, realizing that they need to get onto the point to get before they can really just hold it with those penny mines. They've swapped to the Incredible Hulk. They don't have a Strange, so they're not going to get that bonus or a Iron Man hit. Alexio. Quite far forward, but they are sustaining. Pull him back, rejoin the team. Make sure they've got the defensive positions. Luca dropping very low there. That was real scary for a second. Retreating, trying to get back to their team as they got isolated a little bit here. Dance of the Butterfly onto the objective. Heart of Konju to try and shut down the approach as we're seeing Hate try to hold the line, but SoufWest are blasting them back, doing everything they can to push on through. The revive did come out, so they're still going. Hate trying to hold the point. We're on overtime. 3 bodies on the point versus 1. They're still tagging through. Down goes Luca. Alexio slept and sedated, which means no one is left on the point, and we will see SoufWest take that round. That was way closer. The difference between that game and game number 1 and round number 1, almost night and day. Lovely performance by both teams there. Alexio, where did that Thor come from? Really enjoying that. Big damage. Zound picking up that Psylocke MVP. Not too surprising there. They did get 18 eliminations. Setting themselves up beautifully. But look at the KOs. The final hits. Very close. Not a huge difference between these two teams. This is absolutely a surmountable deficit. Let's keep an eye. Let's go straight into game number 2 as quickly as I can, because Hate, they're not out yet. That was a solid performance. They can bring this back easily here. 15k healing, damage blocked, 15, 19, pretty close between the two teams. 50k healing on a Thor, 6,000 damage on a Thor, a little bit less than the Magneto here, so we'll keep an eye on that. Alright, let's head into game number 2. We're back in. Let's get this going. SoufWest 1-0 up on the left-hand side. Hate needing to win 2 maps in a row to stay in. This is lower bracket, remember. They are on the right-hand side. First man, sticking with the Hawkeye. Keeping it simple. Remove that archer. Lunar Snow taken out once again. Iron Fist being hovered again, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see it. It's played very, very rarely at these higher echelons, but it's not the worst character. We do sometimes see it sneak in. Wolverine with the secure. We know how much Tulip likes that Wolverine. Don't want it to be targeted. Hate. What is their lock-in? What do they choose to secure? They secure the Strange. It was banned out last time. They don't want it taken away again. They're going to make sure it is safe. Hate with the third ban. What's getting removed? Is anything else worth targeting? Perhaps that Psylocke. SoufWest, Zaun with the Psylocke, really picking up those KOs. They banned the Penny. Wasn't a huge fan of that. We're on Convergence this time in Hall of Djalia. And Hela going to be the final removal here. Don't want any of those hit scan heroes. Okay, Zaun, I don't believe you. That's what I thought. There we go. All right, so interesting though that they don't utilize this with the Doctor Strange. That's what I would have expected. Damien, what is going on here? This is quite an interesting matchup here. Let's talk about it as we introduce the teams. Again, Silver might be just picking this for speed boost on the way out of spawn, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's introduce our teams. On the left-hand side, it is SoufWest with Juju the Ball playing the Mantis. Zaun gonna be busting out that Iron Man. Super excited to see that. Dulup, the Incredible Hulk this time. Another dive character, but a little bit beefier. Silver on the Loki, getting removed from them a couple times, but this time they're actually going to get to play it. Damien, finally stopping away from the Magneto, going to be busting out the Doctor Strange. They stayed in base a while there. They may have just been arguing with their team. I don't want to. I like Magneto. He's mine. Portal's coming out. Luca on the Black Panther. On the other side, it is Hate. Alexio going to be playing that Incredible Hulk. Yun, sticking with the Adam Warlock. Dominate on the... Ooh, interesting. A little bit of a Portal Wall-off. They placed it sideways to prevent the block-off. That's really smart. Dominate on the Namor for that extra damage output with those turrets. Pera on the Mantis. Merge on the Iron Man and Hatred. Going to be picking up that Doctor Strange. I love that they placed their portal sideways to prevent the portal to die, that we have been seeing a load of teams try these days. Really, really smart by Hate. Poking away, doing damage. Hate trying to push through as best they can. They've been able to take out Silver and Luca on that back line, but they've lost some of their front line, so they're trying to make their way through, but they are on the point. They are in control, and they have managed to push back SoufWest. Tier 2, Damien on the flank, poker levitation. Shots back and forth. Dominate, a little bit of trouble, round the corner, gets out of there. Nicely done. And the boss statue is released. We are in the game. Hate going to be pushing forward. Doing the best they can, trying to just damage their way through. Dominate. Turrets, sticking them on the low ground for the moment, not taking the time to place them high up so that they are a little harder to hit. Aquatic Dominion, such a strong ability if you're not being dove onto the backline, which appears to be what is attempting to be happening as Luca just flies past on that Black Panther.
We are undefeatable.
Looking for backline pressure, finds a couple people off on the flag. There we go! Annihilating that Namor. Merge with the maximum pulse. Alessio takes out someone as well. 2 people down, and that is just a huge team wipe. Hate dominating this setup here. Diving the Iron Man with an Incredible Hulk. Forced to back away, though, down to 82 health. Down to 7 for a second there. Gets healed up, though. Able to retreat back to the bar statue. Damage boost coming out from Silver. Zaun wrapping around. They've got that pulse from above, from downtown with the double pickup. Doctor Strange not in position to block it, did not know where it was coming from. So both healers taken down, meaning that with them eliminated, there's no one to keep the front line alive. And SoufWest retake control. Luca getting chased a little bit. Looks like they were very deep in enemy territory. Krasik causing a little bit of trouble. Hello, Iron Man. Needs to be careful there. Yep, backing away. Getting chased out real far here. Getting dove all the way by this Iron Man. Gets a little bit of a heal up from the rocket. Lovely positioning there. Looking for the flag. Hulk is back there, causing a distraction. Yoon is eliminated as we are seeing Luca with the Blast Descent. They grab Pera as well and pop Hulk to almost to that beauty battle form, but Tulip was able, sorry, not Tulip, Alexio was able to tank through it, but now they are dropping down into batter form onto the backline. The stun was there, but it's not enough as Luca is dominating this matchup. That was long distance against an Iron Man sniping out of the air with a Black Panther. Luca, what a pickup here. Super nice to see. This is the kind of hero who, seeing as what they've been playing so far, I would have expected Tulip to pick up. But Luca, showing just how scary they are. Stun, 3-man stun coming out with the Eye of Agamotto from SoufWest, trying to get onto that backline, and they are doing a great job here. Luca doing some good damage onto that backline. Hatred has their own. Pulse Charge comes out, only finds Yoon. Yoon is getting sniped so many times here. Having a bit of a rough time about it. Damage boost coming out from Silver. Hatred attacking through for the moment. Pops Tulip out, but now their healer is removed. Hatred is alone once again. Their Hulk is coming in to try and give them that little bit of extra support, but they are being popped by Black Panther real hard here. That's going to be Alessio ulting to stay in this fight, giving them some extra time, diving onto that backline to try and cause more problems. Tulip holding the line, trying to get the counter. There's that Eye of Agamotto. Hatred being patient, giving Alexio more time to get out. They pop Tulip down into that batter form, getting sniped out of there. Alexio is chasing down that Black Panther, but it is too fast. They're still trading though. They really want this. They want the 1v1. It's so close. Luca is tanking through, running rings around Alexio, but Alexio finally finds him. Attrition, picking that up, diving in, pressure, shield. Pulse Charge shut down, not going to be activated there as Sound. Eye of Agamotto comes out, stuns out through both of the healers. Pena dropping low but gets the heal. Yoon is sniped once again, not in this fight. It's a tough matchup. Damage boost once again coming out from Silva, but they are eliminated. But the boost is still there. The team is still going. Dance of the Butterflies coming out. Alessio revived immediately by Yoon, who was able to get the revive out. They're still in this fight, still holding that line, and still pushing for this final point. If they can make it there, they are in a much better position to try and close this out. Trying to dive onto that backline, looking for the healers, eliminate them, and you have a much better position. Taking through, making their way in. Hulks brawling back and forth. They're going to back off the point for the moment. They've still got a minute. There's no point dying on it like it's overtime yet. Holding the line. Neither team is going to give up at this stage. Alexio, there's so much pressure on them right now to keep this moving. They need as many points as they can because being a map down, they've got to pressure it. And Hulk is the tanky boy. He's the one who stays on the point and keeps the team up, uses that shield, getting that extra protection. They're still holding, getting stunned out. Counter Hulk with the Exile. The Indestructible Guard not available, but Alexio is still tanking. They're not killing him. They're actually just going to stagger his KO. That's bad. That is so bad for Hate right now. With 44 seconds left. Alexio's KO absolutely staggered out here. And Tulip in the backline. They're still going to try their best. Alexio will make it in time before the overtime. But their team is starting to full merge. It's down. Hatred and Pena taking quite a bit of damage here. As Tulip is deep in the backline. Pena with the heal, trying to give him time. Eye of Agamotto shut down, not activated here. Dance of the Butterfly coming out from Zhao to try and wipe out that defense. Yoon is taken down, but they are in Cocoon form, so they can revive and just quickly ult to revive the team, but they've got to be fast. Cocoon, here comes the revive. Karmic Revival, it gets 3 people. Hate are holding on in this game. They're tagging through the best they can. Alexio, we are jumping on with them because they're the one who's going to be able to tag through this the best to hold this point. They get the lockdown, the Exile onto Tulip, the Indestructible Guard, holding the line. side. They are pushing through. The bar statue is not moving, but they are still holding. They are still pushing. The spawn locations are so much closer for SoufWest, but they're still going. Hatred. They have an Eye of Agamotto. If they can tank through this and drop it, this could be the game changer. Damien zoned out off to the side. They need to go through the shield. Eye of Agamotto! Oh, onto 3 members onto the back line. They take Tulip down into that banner form. Damien is down. They're pushing through. Hate are holding, but the statue is moving so slowly, but they are making progress. Dance of the Butterfly from Dominate to try and push through those last remaining members, keep them in base. Team up's been activated. Tulip onto the Thor to try and shut this down. They're all in on dive right now to push through the remainder of this point. If they can wipe Hate off the point, they stop them here. They're pressuring. Diving deep, doing damage. Silver with the damage amplifier. They push on through the portal to try and make it harder for them to shoot onto that defensive point. Tulip diving deep. Silver with the damage bonus. Juju with the heal. And there's no ultimate available for Hate. Yoon going down. Double stun, triple stun. Pena down. Hatred down. Alexion down into banner form. And we stick on 2. An intense round 1 of game number 2. They did not get the full way, but that's still a pretty solid distance gained by Hate. SoufWest now on the attack. They've got their work cut out for them. Let's see how they choose to close this out, or if their choices will take them to a 3rd map. Team of Value coming out for the side of Hate. Hulk, Iron Man, and of course that Doctor Strange. Exactly the same that we see for SoufWest. The pressure is on. 102 meters at point 2 is the line to beat. This is going to be tough. Can they do it? I don't believe you, Silver. I do not believe you. But I'll be excited if you do. Tulip currently on Venom.
4, 3, 2,
and last second slot. Yep, there we go.
don't forget, securing the missionary
And here we
is
go.
a top priority.
SoufWest making their way in, looking to keep themselves in this lower bracket and to eliminate Hate once again for the 2nd time in a row. Healing away, poking forward. Tulip leading the charge round to the back here. Try and cause some damage on the side. Merge already sent into that cocoon. Onto the point. Hulk immediately getting targeted down. Nice exile onto Alexion there, forcing them back into banner form. And Tulip, hyper aggro there. Value being gained, getting pressured by Iron Man there, forcing them to back out. Indestructible barrier. Tulip is holding this, showing how aggressive they can be. The guard still a couple seconds off cooldown though, so they are forced back into banner. Good damage.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Point is activated. That was a snowball right off the bat by SoufWest, looking to show that they mean business and try to get momentum on their side.
Help, friends.
Luca going to be backing up to the rest of the team. Needs a little bit of extra protection. They are taking a lot of damage output here. Flanking Psylocke, sounds causing problems. Not Zion, sorry. Wrong team there. Juju healing them up. Hey, on that defense. Holding the line as best they can. Dominate. Looking for the flanks. High ground pressure. Dance of the Butterfly. Soul Bonds. Maximum Pulse. Onto the backline, but only buys Juju and immediately gets wiped out in the 1v1. Merge does have that Galactic Legend though, holding on to it for now because they are already winning this fight. Trying to get the rocket. Holding, chasing. Be careful, they're about to be outnumbered. Merge backing away, but that laser really hurts. Merge does get out of there, though, without getting eliminated. Oh my god! Mercy, Luca! Luca chasing deep there. Taking the Iron Man 1v1 easily. Pressure from the high ground. Stunned in the air. Taken out by the Galactic Legend of Merge. The Eye of Agamotto with a little bit of Cloak of Levitation to make sure they can reach it. Cloak of Levitation, by the way, utilizing it to chase down Merge. Teams brawling back and forth. Baby in. Charging forward. Two-loop deep into that backline with the ultimate activated, but it does finally expire as Merge escapes once more. Alexio also ulting. Silva being harassed in the backline. Merge forced to back out once again. Actually chased all the way there. Zaun causing problems. Sees the cocoon. Looks to try and get the 1v1. And might not do so! That is a 1v1 taken by Merge with a slither of health. 8 hit points remaining as they pick up that kill with the barrage. Gets the map healing. Finds Rocket, who just dived them head first. And they go down to Luca, who's maximum pulsing onto the front line. But they tanked that beautifully. Holding the line for the moment. Dominate. Tagging through, stunned out by Hulk, taking them down to the ground. Alexio causing problems, Dars and the Butterfly onto their backline, but the revive comes out and will get a couple of the members back in that fight. Sound, though, is just picking up every KO they can. These eliminations showing just how scary Psylocke actually is. Just fighting everyone. Diving onto that Iron Man. Dropping low, tanking through as best they can. Dominate, dropping low. Just the potential down. Look at those health bars drop. Zaun is done playing. Zaun wants this game over. 28 out of 102 meters. The distance closes. It actually looks like we're going to back up and reset here. Luca is vibing. Swapped off of the Iron Man as they are now indoors. Height's going to be a little more difficult to utilize. And they're now on that Black Panther. Did so well last time. And already pressuring onto members here. Diving back, forth, through. Not landing the javelins. A bit to get warmed up. Maximum Pulse comes out. Zaun takes out Merge in the 1v1. Dominate taken down as well. Hate, their members are falling as that car pushes on in. And that is going to be it as SoufWest wipe the members of Hate. And they take this series in a 2-0 and this map in a 3-2. That is going to be a solid performance. For starters, I can't wait to see some of these players in future tournaments. Everyone is showing so much potential. It's so good to see. Especially big shout-outs, by the way, to poor old Yun back there. Suffering 15 KOs, suffering 15, eliminations. Mostly just by catching strays from like Iron Mans and stuff like that. Just getting targeted every fight. Did their best though, 11k healing. Still, 20k healing. Still doing a pretty decent job. 27k healing from Pera. 24 from Silva. 28 from Juju the Ball. Luca, their flexible hero swaps. And Tulup as well. Both showing that they've got that little bit of a flexible hero pool, making it very difficult for teams to predict them, and allowing them to be a little more flexible. It's exciting to see. And Hate, they did good. Big shout out to you and Merge especially doing great. Alexio showing that they've got some tricks up their sleeve. They're a strong team. The players all got some individual strength. I can't wait to see them back in the future. But for now, it is time to say goodbye to hate. As continuing in the lower bracket, SoufWest are still in this tournament. It's not over yet, but for now, this video is. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been Tetcher. I've been your caster for today. I am obviously not the official channel. I have just been doing this for fun. If Marvel wants to hire me, I'm available. They have my email. If you want to show some support, let me know. Say in the comments. Tweet at me on the Bird app that I believe is now a font app. I don't know what's going on with that. Also the Butterfly app because it's better and more friendly. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all having a lovely 2025. I have been Tetcher. Like, comment, subscribe. I get them right at the end. See you all next time.